what it means to be an American. America is freedom, and freedom is special and rare.
We, the people of this great nation.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
We, the people of this great nation.
Good morning, my fellow Americans. This is Jace Haber, and you are tuning into the Republican Nation. Today we have our special guest, as always, my co-host, Mr. QAnon himself, Chris from Philadelphia. Chris, how are you doing today?
Yo, what's up?
You ain't gotta try to pretend like you're something you're not. Come on now. with that whole talk. All right, so we got a lot of things in hand. Unfortunately, we've been talking so much about election fraud because it seems to be the frontline articles. It seems to be everything everyone is talking about right now. It is what has people not sleeping. It is what has people angry. It is what has people violent against each other. And it is what has everyone in this country divided, aside from the fact that, unfortunately, the media has helped bigly in division in our country, in the division we currently have in our country. So, lots of news to talk about. Again, Donald Trump, poor Donald Trump, continues to fight the good fight and keeps getting betrayed by his own people. Senator Mitch McConnell betrayed him today. Of course, he got his seat. He got his power. He got his seat guaranteed in the Senate. So he acknowledged today that President elect Joe Biden was, or I guess is, going to be the president of the United States as of this moment. But a lot can happen from now to January 6th, especially with the new.
What you think it is?
Especially with the new revelations that are happening. There is a lot of new revelations that are happening, whether people want to call us crazy. I know that you guys put up with this. Guys, I'm on the same page. I got a guy that keeps harassing me on Facebook, always telling me, you want to raise the bet? You want to raise the bet from $2,000? Like, he's trying to be funny, and then he's got his little cocksucker friend. He's got his little cocksucker friends that laugh at his little jokes, like the little liberal fucking jokes. Like, they think it's funny. They think it's funny that we're handing over democracy to a fucking senile old man that doesn't know where the fuck he's at half the time. But apparently they think it's funny. It's funny because we got our W. We got our win. Yeah, this is awesome for our country. We're getting rid of Donald Trump. We won. No, you fucking idiots. You lost if we lose Donald Trump. Because Joe Biden will sell us to China in less than a fucking heartbeat as long as his family's making money. Dumbasses. If you haven't seen the cabinet picks he's picked, they're all of them are from the elites. Okay, none of those people are progressives. None of those people are diverse. They're all rich as shit, and they've all participated. At least 40 of them have been in the past or currently lobbyists. But again, this will be an empty promise Joe Biden has made, like he's made several of them, because none of them will end up getting hired because Donald Trump's going to be president of the United States. I'm still optimistic. I still believe in that justice will prevail. And I think that there's a lot of things that are going against, looking at Joe Biden's 4,000 people that were watching him as he was saying his speech in reference to his acceptance, I guess, of the electoral votes. It seems like he was more defending himself, and that's never a good sign when you're not as confident. When you go up there and you're not really confident and you're kind of like defending yourself, like you're doubting, almost like people can see right through the doubts. So let's get straight to the nitty gritty. Michigan legislators committee subpoena election evidence, hard drives, laptops, emails from Detroit. Shit's about to get real. And the reason I say this is because evidence is coming out. And at any moment, let me explain something to you. Donald Trump has a lot of options on the table. There's a lot of pathways. Is it hard? Yes. Is he fighting a big fight? Absolutely. Is there a possibility Joe Biden will be president? Yeah, I can agree with that. There is a possibility. If everything goes against Trump, as it has been, but and they leave him no avenue, yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. I can tell you, the fact that Durham has just expanded his legal team, that's not a very good sign for Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden. The fact that people are so aware, and the polls are showing that 30% of Democrats think this election was rigged. 88% or 83% of Republicans, 40 something percent of independents. That's a lot of Americans that think that this election was mishandled or there was election fraud, even though the media keeps suppressing it. Apparently they're getting their information elsewhere. So that being said, with the issues we're having in Arizona and Wisconsin, there's a very good chance. I mean, look, this won't be reported by the media. I promise you this much. The Chief Justice actually said openly that he is surprised at his colleagues that they would just dismiss a case in Wisconsin like that and just put the cloak over it on something that is so serious, and that they're just not doing anything about it. This was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court in Wisconsin. People are recognizing what's happening. There is some Republicans out there that have a spine. There is some Republicans out there that have some balls, and those are the ones that are fighting. The other ones, their balls are shriveling. That's all that's happening. They're pussing out. Or they got their position in power and they don't care anymore. Any input there, my good friend Chris? Any input on what I just said?
Number one, I think McConnell is playing the art of war. I think he's just,
oh my God,
acting like, he's friends.
Have you read the book, The Art of War?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Tell me, what's your favorite part about the book?
I think he's accepting it. That,
what's your favorite part of The Art of War, the book?
The favorite part?
Yeah.
I don't know. I read it a long time ago.
Yeah, you didn't read the book.
No, I really did read it. No, I really did. I promise you I did. Long time ago.
It's a strategy.
Before
the book is really a business strategy. It really doesn't have anything to do with the actual art of war.
No, I'm not saying that. I understand that, but it tells you to pretty much, keep everybody off their toes, where they don't know what's really going on. Keep your enemies closer than your friends.
I sometimes feel that we're a part of us also are having a very hard time accepting that there's a possibility Donald Trump may lose. I mean, I do strongly feel that. I still feel like this was stolen. Nobody's ever going to. It's like I said today in my stream. I go, if Biden wins and he manages to pull it off, I mean, literally winning less counties by a long shot than Hillary and Obama, yet winning the popular vote. I don't know how that's possible, but I will never look at that man like a legitimate president. He will always have like a question mark next to his name. He will be insignificant. He will do nothing for this country, only for his family, and he probably won't even last his first year in office. He probably won't.
I'm so positive that he will not step a foot in that freaking office that I bet $1,000 already on.
Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Do you feel homeless in today's American political world? Not really into either candidate or party? Guess what? You're not alone. Join me and others just like you across this great country for a discussion of politics from a viewpoint that you can't find in today's media. The Middle. I'm your host, Brian Grozier, and I invite you to join in on the discussion by downloading and listening to the Middle American Podcast.
With somebody, so
I mean, look, I can tell you that Donald Trump said something yesterday on Twitter. If you read through the lines on what he says,
yes,
he is saying pretty much that we can no longer stand. I don't think Donald Trump is leaving the White House. I strongly believe that Donald Trump is gonna stand tall. He's gonna stand strong, and he's either gonna put the Insurrection Act in, or he's gonna declare a state of we're already under a state of national emergency. He did that back in 2018 due to the election fraud that he thought. I don't know if this is just coincidence or he saw this coming. I highly doubt he saw COVID-19 coming, because I mean, let's get real here. Donald Trump was winning the election all the way until COVID-19 hit. If it wasn't for COVID-19, Donald Trump would have won he did win by a landslide, but it would have been clear and cut, and there was no way of doing this. Now, I saw something pretty interesting today. Chris probably didn't see it, but I saw the CEO, the founder of Overstock. He came out publicly for the first time, and he was saying that he was I'm not sure if this is accurate or false information. I would think there would be legal consequences if he was to say stuff like this. But he literally said that he was part of a sting operation against Hillary Clinton back in 2016. He says he was part of a sting operation where the FBI wanted him to bribe Hillary Clinton on behalf of another country, because this guy's an elite. This guy's worth billions of dollars. And he says he has evidence that Hillary Clinton took a bribe from Turkey, a $15 million bribe, and that he was supposed to offer her $18 million. She took the bait, and then he says after he was cooperating with the FBI and working with the FBI, he says they approached him and they told him, listen, we can't do anything about this. He goes, we've done the sting operation, we have the evidence, but this is above our pay grade. This is allegations he's making. I cannot say whether they're true or not, but it was pretty damning when he said that he kept asking why, and he says, listen, Obama is making sure that Hillary Clinton is going to be president of the United States. She's going to serve 2 terms. Almost as if they saw this coming, and then Donald Trump came from left field and he fucking destroyed their entire plan. But again, I'm not sure, because a lot of conspiracies float out there, and I don't want to be one of those. I don't want to be one of those people. But a lot of
money is real.
What's that?
I'll put money on it that it's real.
Everybody knows Hillary's corrupt. I just don't understand why justice is so swift for Republicans, but so delayed for Democrats. Always. Why didn't Durham come up with something before the election? Why not? He's been doing this already for 2 years. What's going on? What's he waiting for?
I think Barr told him not to. Make it look like a legitimate, election.
This is far from legitimate. When you have the majority of America,
I'm just saying to make it look like it.
When you have the majority of America calling for war, calling for Americans to go out and do crazy things, you have an issue. There's something going on, and you got to be extremely, extremely worried. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. I know that the feds and the U.S. Marshals and everybody apparently went after a company, headquarters in Austin, Texas. The U.S. Marshals, the FBI, and I forgot what other department went in there.
Sheriffs.
Yeah, the sheriffs, and they seized everything, and apparently they were connected to Dominion somehow. The problem is the time the time frame we have here. It's a very difficult time frame. That's why I think Trump was going down the avenue of legislative and laws, and how these people didn't follow their legislation and their laws. Like, for example, Wisconsin. If he was to win the court case in Wisconsin, they would have to throw out 200,000 ballots. Donald Trump would win Wisconsin, because they pretty much, it's illegal. It's against the rules. It's against the rules, their laws. It's against their laws to vote early voting. And there was tents set up.
Those laws are there. They're for a reason, to abide by them. If you don't abide by them, that this is the ramifications.
But this is the problem, that the Supreme Court justices are not agreeing to it. And then it was like, it's like everybody's saying, okay, so I had a debate today, and this is from a Republican. The guy goes, listen, the problem is if he puts the Insurrection Act into play without going to a court and being able to have his evidence shown, then we have a problem. But the problem is that they haven't had an evidentiary hearing, like a hearing where he can show his evidence. So it's like, So he's been put in a situation where he can't really show his evidence because they're not allowing him to show his evidence.
Of course. Made that way.
Now, I'm going to tell you the fact that you have these electorals that are going against what we call unfaithful electors, which they're not unfaithful. In my opinion, they're actually faithful. I really do think Donald Trump won those states.
Right.
It's a big deal because that means that once January 6th comes in, they're going to be arguing and fighting for that. Now, we control 30 states and the Democrats
33.
control 20. No, we control 30.
What?
We control 30 and the Democrats.
33 and 13.
No. Do you know how to do mathematics?
Or 36 and 13, is it?
Do you know how to do mathematics? There's 50 states in our country. It's
Right.
30 and 20. Very simple. It's very simple math. Jesus.
I don't think it is.
I mean, yeah, it is. There's 50 states.
I understand it.
You're saying numbers. All those numbers you threw out there were absolutely not 50. Did not add up to 50.
Come on, man.
What are you doing? It's simple math. But not just that. I actually looked it up today. It's 30-20.
Your numbers are off.
No, it's 30-20.
Your numbers are off.
I looked it up. It's 30-20. 30-20.
Your numbers are off.
30-20. 30-20. I'm always right. You're wrong.
All right, I'm going to prove you wrong.
What just confuses me is how can people just allow this shit to happen? How is this country just ignoring this? I'm seeing so many people gloating. I'm seeing so many people like happy that that Trump lost, when in reality the ones that are losing are us, everyone in this country. Because when you look at the big picture here, if in our reality, this election was rigged, we all lost, and we should all be pissed off that they're manipulating our votes and that our votes really don't matter. But I guess democracy doesn't matter as long as you get the W, right? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know that Joe Biden's wife is not a doctor, so she needs to remove the doctor part of her name. I know that. I mean, again, apparently they've learned from each other. She's taking it right out of Biden's book of plagiarism and book of corruption and bullshit. I'm trying to see what else is new. Issue subpoenas. Look, Arizona. They issued subpoenas again in Maricopa County. They're issuing subpoenas for the ballots. So, I mean, I don't know what's gonna be. I don't know what's gonna be the end game
I'm trying
here.
to prove you wrong right now.
You're not gonna prove me wrong because I'm right.
No, you're wrong.
No, I'm right. I mean, we literally had a debate about this.
Well, I don't know who you're debating to. So.
I'm debating professors. I'm debating different people. I'm not debating Chris Q from Philadelphia.
I'm telling you, you're wrong.
I mean, I'm telling you something. I mean, already the Georgia's sheriff's department it says that they're going to investigate. They're going to investigate an election fraud. Look, at the end of the day, Donald Trump has the backing of law enforcement. Donald Trump has the backing of the military. Donald Trump has, again, I don't want him to take this as a dictator. Like, I don't want this to be something where he just decides to take this. I want it to be done the right way, but the court needs to give him, at some point, the court needs to give him his day in court. I mean, they need to let him show his evidence. I mean, it's quite clear that there is evidence, and it's quite clear that plenty of people are trying to hide this. I don't understand how ignorant you have to be to not see what's going on here. I mean, this is just insane that we're allowing this to happen in our country. I mean, it's just a really sad day in our country when we allow people to just do whatever they want and laws don't apply and it doesn't matter. Okay, we have to really hold everybody here accountable, and We need to figure this shit out as sooner than later. Sooner than later. And time is ticking. Time is ticking. So, I mean, I haven't seen... huh? Come on. Say I'm right.
What was your numbers?
30 and 20.
31 and 18.
That's impossible. Again, do your math.
Let me see the dates on this.
Dude, 31 and 18 doesn't equal 50, man. Again, there's 50 states in the United States of America. Stop trying to fact check me, man. You're not right.
I am right.
All right, let's see.
Anyway,
Oh, wow.
so-
A new recent poll just came out and says that 92% of Republicans think the election was rigged. 92%.
mhm.
Wow. I mean, this is just... Oh, wow. This is just incredible.
Sure as shit.
This is just incredible. Texas electorals vote 34-4 to call on legislators in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin, whose election results handed the White House at Joe Biden to appoint their own electors. Yeah, this is going to be pretty chaotic. This is going to be very chaotic come January 6th. This is not going to be smooth sailing.
Fuck no.
So
Don't let this go by. So we have
listen.
Mr. Warnock.
Okay, hold on. Listen so you guys can have an understanding of this. If this doesn't feel like they have something, you guys have to be out of your mind. Linwood tweeted this. Linwood tweeted it and then Donald Trump retweeted it. President Trump is a genuinely good man. He does not really like to fire people. I bet he dislikes putting people in jail, especially Republicans, with quotation marks. He gave Brian Kemp and Georgia's Secretary of State every chance to get it right. They refused. They will soon be going to jail.
Yep.
And he retweeted it. I am telling you, this is not going to end pretty. I mean, either Donald Trump's ego is extremely big and he does not like to lose, or he's got real evidence that's going to really tear this shit apart.
He does.
Dominion server crash delays recount in Georgia's Fulton County for the third time. Wow. By the way, there's also a whistleblower in Frankfurt, Germany, that said that he witnessed the election going through Germany. He was then fired. I mean, again, you know there is consequences when you defend Donald Trump or when you become a real whistleblower, unlike Adam Schiff's whistleblowers. I mean, they were looked at like gods. They were looked at like patriots. But these people are whistleblowers? No, they're not real. But they show their names. Okay, look, tremendous problems being found with voting machines. They are so far off, it's ridiculous. Able to take a landslide victory and reduce it to a tight loss. This is not what the USA is all about. Law enforcement shielding machines, do not tamper, a crime, much more to come. I mean, let me just tell you this much. If they got nothing to hide, why would the governor of Michigan have the police not allowing Republicans electors to be there during the voting? Guys, this is not normal. What's going on in the United States right now is far from normal. And then they call the right the fascist? I don't know. This is just this is, to me, this is crazy. This is a good one. Election status. Trump is in the process of proving he won and Biden is pretending he did. I mean, this is just. I mean, the error rate scanning ballots in Antrim County, Michigan, was 68.05%. Dominion voting systems are also used in Clark County, Nevada. Clark County, Nevada election officials also happened to report an error scanning about 70% of the ballots. I mean, if this is not concerning, I mean, this is this is just. Oh my
No, I just don't understand how people can't see it. Like these fucking Democrats, they can't see this shit. Like,
I want to know who this guy is that Donald Trump put in as his new acting attorney general, Jeff Rosen.
I'm sure you know he's a badass.
Do you even know who the fuck he is?
No, I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised.
Jeff
I'm
Rosen.
sure he's a badass.
Let's see who this guy is. Jeff Rosen, who is Trump's acting attorney general? Jeffrey Rosen is an American lawyer who has served as the United States Deputy Attorney General since 2019 and will become acting United States Attorney General of Trump's administration upon the resignation of William Barr. Yeah, this is okay. This guy actually wrote an article about election fraud. Oh my God. Yeah, Donald Trump knows what he's doing. He's putting the people in play. I mean, he's putting the right people in play. I just don't know. I don't know where it's going to end up. The hypocrisy continues from the left. The left has done zero coverage of the Swalwell Chinese sleeping with a Chinese fucking spy, and he's still part of the Intel Committee. How insane is that? Being
So
part
funny,
of the
he talks about Donald Trump Jr., which and he's the one that did it. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy shit he did. Like it's absolutely the same shit he was trying to pin on his son.
This is the hypocrisy of the left, though. Should we not be used to this by now?
Of course.
I mean, I'm used to it. I'm already used to it. We asked for a little bit of time to prove a case of election fraud. They claim Russian collusion for fucking 2.5 years. They still claim it. They still haven't even denied it. Everything is Russia's fault. But yet these people get caught. Feinstein gets caught hiring a Chinese for 20 years. You got from the other side, Swalwell sleeping with a Chinese, and she gets an intern in there as well. I mean, this is a joke. What has America turned into?
Fucking these Chinese whores.
I mean, look, and then you got Biden, who doesn't even know the name of the fucking. He goes out there to try to campaign. He's trying to campaign for the senator, for the guy that's running for senator in Georgia, and he has no fucking idea what the guy's name is. He gets the guy's name wrong.
How many people were there?
Probably one. And that was probably one of his staff members. I mean, look, again, look, again, this is just continuous hypocrisy. Americans need to stand up for their rights. Americans need to stand up to this bullshit. And that's it. It's the bottom line. I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record. I hate to continue to be talking about the same subject. It sucks because I'd rather be here praising all of Donald Trump's accomplishments, the fact that he's done so much for this country in 4 years. I can't imagine if he would have another 4 years. Again, a huge victory for him with the COVID-19 vaccine. What people thought couldn't be done, what the media called a miracle, it would be a miracle if he can make that happen. Well, guess what? He did it. Apparently, Donald Trump can also make miracles happen. He's not just a great president, he also makes miracles. So,
well, he knows how to beat the red tape. He knows the bullshit.
I mean,
he knows what was bullshit.
I mean, tell me. I mean, you tell me how any other president would have managed to do that when all the odds are against him. He still manages to pull this off. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's just it's incredible to me. I just don't understand what's on the minds.
The art of the deal. He knows how to make those deals.
Is it art of? I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not really about money. It's just he knows what he has.
Pharmaceutical companies. Fuck yeah, it was.
Well, no, he took out a lot of the red tape. He took out a lot of
Right.
Wow, Michigan Oversight Committee officials launch deeper investigation. I'm gonna tell you, I mean, they're getting deep into this shit because they're realizing that Americans don't feel very comfortable with what's happening right now. And for those of you Georgians that are out there that you guys tune into my show, you guys need to go out there and vote. From the last polls that I saw, which are probably fake, it's probably much higher lead. Let's face the reality, guys. Perdue and Loeffner don't really have much of a personality, so they need all the help they can get. From what I'm seeing in the poll numbers, they're literally up by like 1%, and that's within the margin of error. So we need to really make sure that you guys go out there, just in case Trump does not get the presidency. We need to have a firewall. We need to have some way of stopping these fucking radicals from doing some crazy shit. We really need to.
Look at you got Warnock. Warnock is straight radical Islam. You know what I mean? Like that boy is friends with what's his name?
I don't know what your comment is, so how am I gonna know what's his name?
Warnock.
I know who Warnock is. I don't know who you're talking about.
He's for Muslims. He's for,
Who cares?
all of them are on the side. Ilmar, whatever, Ilmar, fucking whatever
Imar,
her name is.
Omar.
AOC, all the squad. They're all up his ass. He just said that, he's the one that said that you can't. What was his words? You can't choose between God or money or something like that. What was it? What was he saying?
Oh my God. Listen, I'm going to have to stop bringing you on this show if you're going to sound like a dumbass.
Come on, man.
I don't remember exactly what he
said.
He said
that you cannot serve the military and God. Okay, that's what he said. That a person that serves the military cannot be a true believer of God. You cannot do both. That is what he said.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, right.
And I don't know what your comment was about Muslims. Didn't make any sense, really. I want you to reiterate. Because he is a pastor. I mean, supposedly a pastor. I've never seen a pastor be pro-choice, but okay. Apparently, pastors now have options of changing the Bible. But, I don't know what you meant by Muslims. Muslims are not bad people. Let's get that straight.
No, I'm not talking about Muslims. I'm talking about radical Muslims, radical Islam. That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, those people they're not a threat to us anymore. Thankfully, Donald Trump got rid of them. Our biggest problem, this country's biggest problem, is what we're seeing right now. It's China.
I'm telling you right now, the squad is radical Islam. You got Sarzer, whatever her name is. She's involved now, again, okay? And the fucking squad. That's radical fucking Islam, dude. Big time.
Okay, you mentioned one Muslim, and you're calling it radical Islam because there's one Muslim within the group.
Sarzer, whatever the hell her name is, she's like a big-time radical Islam. Big time.
What does radical Islam mean to you? I don't understand what that means.
Basically, they hate America. They're against America in every way. They want, whatchamacallit here, Sharia law.
Come on, man.
Seriously?
Oh, that's what she said. Sarzer said it many times.
A million times? That's a lot of times to say that.
Many times.
Oh, okay.
I said million times. I said many times.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I just think they're extreme radicals. I don't think it really has anything to do.
Away.
You could see a lot of things from a mile away. Yeah, I'm sure you can. I don't see any of that. I just see radical. I just see a radical group of individuals that want to change America because they hate America. I mean, anybody who loves this country knows this country's perfect. It has its flaws. It has its problems. But overall, it's a perfect country. It's a country that does have racism, but it's not systematic. Racism is something that's learned at home. It's not something that somebody just magically starts becoming racist. You either learn it at home or through life experiences. Is there systematic racism? No. I strongly believe there's not. I mean, a lot of people, every time I say this, they're like, how could you say that? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. With all the interactions police officers have with the African American community and the amount of people that actually get shot and killed by police officers is minimal. It's isolated incidents in different places. You actually have more interaction. I mean, you actually have more black on black crime by a larger scale, a much larger scale. And I think that if Black Lives Matters really cared about black lives, that's would be where they would be putting their focus on, in those communities. Instead of attacking a few police officers that at the end of the day, if they committed a crime and they murdered an individual, they're going to pay the piper. They're going to get arrested. If they did something wrong, they're going to get arrested. The guy that put his knee on George Floyd, that guy will most likely get a prison sentence, a long prison sentence, because he did commit a crime. And he had 19 complaints on him. But then again, we have to go back. Who do we blame for this? Because this is all a cycle here. Why was that guy still in the streets policing if he had 19 complaints? Ask yourself this. If you were working in any job, or if you're working in your job right now, if you had 2 complaints, would you be fired? Absolutely. You know who was the prosecutor that was prosecuting, that was the DA at the time when this guy was getting his complaints? Amy Klobuchar. Yes, that's right. The senator. She was the DA. Did she refuse to prosecute officers? So at the end of the day, when you look at all these incidents that occur, there's always a cause and effect for everything that happens. And there's always higher ups and everything. And when you just trace it back, it always ends up being a Democrat. Or it always ends up being in a Democratic city. I mean, look at what's happening right now in New York City, guys. Crime rate is up. They defunded the police. Good job. Now crime rate is up. It's a fucking ghost town. And now you've got businesses, restaurants going out of business. They're destroying the city of New York. They're literally, Andrew Cuomo is literally destroying the city of New York. And he has allegations of sexual assault, which doesn't surprise me because all these guys have so much fucking baggage on them. And I'm glad that finally they out his ass for some of the bullshit that he does. So again, what were you going to say, Chris? What were you going to say, Q?
Louis Farrakhan. He's friends with.
Well, I mean, there's pictures of Obama with him.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're all affiliated. I guarantee it.
I mean,
but what I'm saying is, the fact is the squad is too, and the fact is I saw Sarzer today. I mean, I'm telling you right now, we're talking radical Islam. We're talking pro against America, every aspect. So if Georgia chooses these people, man, they're just waiting. They're going to have Sharia law in Georgia. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy.
That's not how it works. It's usually
No, but it gets in there one way or another.
This is guys. This is how sad. This is how sad. If you want this crowd to run our country, then we have issues. San Francisco committee wants to remove Abraham Lincoln's name from a high school. Abraham Lincoln, okay, the man that abolished slavery, the man that fought for the rights of the slaves. He had more plans, by the way. Most people don't know this, but he had planned to really give them a clean slate. He was going to make sure that they had all equal rights across the board. And then, of course, he was assassinated, and his vice president was a Democrat and went back to the Southern ways at the time. So, again, I don't understand what the fuck is wrong with this world. How are you going to remove the name? Are you guys just going to try to cancel history? Is this the book 1984? Is this what we're living in right now? I mean, did this guy call it? Are we going to just erase history? Are we going to erase everything? Because that's what it seems like we're trying to do. What makes this country so great is the history behind this country. Yes, there were slave owners. Yes, there was people that treated slaves horribly. Yes, there was a lot of slaves. There was a lot of bad things this country did. A lot of hate groups. A lot of bad things this country. But the fact that the country evolved and got better because of it, the beautiful things like the civil rights movement that occurred, all these things that have happened has taught us, and history, we reflect on history so we won't make those mistakes again. History teaches us so we can be better for the future. We learn from history. So we're just going to delete history? Is that the left's plan? Is that their great scheme? Is that their great plan to just erase American history? We are a country that, yes, had a lot of flaws. Yes, we did a lot of bad things. Yes, we killed a lot of Native Americans. If we were put in that situation now with the way that people have their minds right now, that would have never happened. It was a different time and we learned from it. And this is how our country just kept evolving. We're now living in a country where we had the first black president, not just elected, but reelected. We have black and white couples everywhere, people from all over the world that marry one another, have kids. For God's sakes, we legalized gay marriage. We legalized gay marriage. Is this country that bad? Do people hate this country that much? Because in all honesty, I mean, this country seems to be a much better option than, let's say, Iran. How would they treat the gay community in Iran? So, I mean, you got to ask yourself this question. Really, I mean, have we not learned from the mistakes of our past? I think we have. And that's why this country is so great. I think it's very easy for people to preach and for people to talk about communism, socialism, when they live in a free country. Very easy. Try doing that shit in Cuba. Try talking about freedom. Try talking about freedom in Cuba. See what happens to you. You disappear.
See if you have any safe spaces in Cuba.
Huh?
See if you have any safe spaces in Cuba.
I mean, look, I'll give you a perfect example. So I had somebody on my stream trying to debate me, and this was the most ridiculous thing I've ever had in my entire life. The guy literally said that Batista was a racist. Okay, the president of Cuba at the time before Fidel Castro, right? He called him a racist, and then he said that he murdered Haitians, right? One, he mixed up the two histories of two completely different countries. And first, Batista was black. Apparently, he did not know that. Batista was racist, and he was black. So that's really unlikely that the black president would have ended up being a racist. But nevertheless, he also went to accuse Batista of killing Haitians. How, when we had no Haitians living in Cuba? Whereas what he was really talking about was Trujillo, which was the dictator and the president, I guess, whatever, the leader of the Dominican Republic, who was killing Haitians and was a dictator and was cutting people's heads off that were Haitians. Yes, that did occur, but in a completely different country. So this is how misinformed people are. And he was actually saying Cuba was beautiful. When my dad goes to Cuba and visits Cuba, drinks water and has diarrhea for 3 days straight. What a great country. When he buys himself some eggs with American dollars, which is, it's, people prefer American dollars in Cuba. He buys eggs and then gets sick and throws up for 3 days straight. Where you look up in the sky, you don't see a pigeon anywhere because they've already been slingshot or hit or killed for food. As a matter of fact, very seldomly do you even see a cat or a dog in the street. That's how bad things are in Cuba. But of course, when I asked him where he stayed at, he goes, "Oh, I stayed at a resort in Havana." Yeah, you stayed in a touristical place where Americans are at, where all the good stuff is at. Try living in the camps where, you know, what we call what huh?
Walk out about a block away.
No, I mean, walk out about a block away, you'll either get mugged or you'll be or you'll regret or you'll get killed. I mean, the reality is these people have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea the starvation. And then he tells me, yeah, but have you seen the education level? Have you seen what Fidel Castro did for the blacks? He freed them. Did you see what Fidel Castro did with the medicine? I mean, they're the best doctors. Yeah, what's the point of being a good doctor when you're getting paid $10 US a month? I mean, really, you dedicate your entire career. You go to college. You do your university in Cuba, and then your end game is $10 a month. And yet, a military personnel makes more money than you do. That's how socialism works. That's how dictatorship works. That's how communism works. That's the reality. The government controls everything. You control nothing. You own nothing. Not even the house you live in. And that's the reality. And that's the utopia that AOC and the squad want for this country. Yep. That is what they want. And that's what they'll try by any means. And unfortunately, the Democrats that we currently have that used to be moderate Democrats are cowards, and they're bending over and taking it because they don't have a backbone and they have no morals, to be honest. I mean, they stand for nothing. They really have they have no standing. I mean, this is the same group of people that tell you can't go out and eat at a restaurant because you'll spread COVID, but then they'll go and they'll eat at a fancy restaurant with their friends. Mind you, not wearing a mask or social distancing. Or the ones that
what they're trying.
Go ahead.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to wait, and pray that Biden gets in and he's going to be president, and then that's when they are going to lock everything the fuck down completely and come up with this bullshit. COVID got worse or some other freaking pandemic, whatever. So we have no choice except to rely on their money. That they're finally going to come out with some kind of money thing, and it's going to like a stimulus, and it's going to be like forever, And
well, I mean, they did. Oh, this is some news. This is some positive news. At least there's a bipartisan bill that apparently they're going to pass, which is going to give Americans $300 a week. So I guess you guys can pretty much put some gas in your car and maybe buy some canned food. And you guys will be able to we'll be able to survive with $1,200 a month. We're gonna do real good. We're gonna,
awesome, man.
Yeah. I mean, our government is really doing. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm a Republican, but I acknowledge the fact that both sides are fucked up. I'm not here to preach and say how bad the left is. Only listen, the right is equally as bad. We have some good people on the right. But we got assholes like Mitch McConnell. We got a lot of people that have been putting a lot of American lives at stake only for political purposes. We already know Nancy Pelosi held off the bill for the election. And we all know Senate Mitch McConnell doesn't care. He just doesn't care. Remember something.
Right now, I think McConnell is playing possum, dude.
Listen, he's not playing any possum.
Right now to get a bill to go through, and that's it.
He's not playing possum. He's not playing possum because any bill that would go through right now would go through President Trump regardless. But that being said, let's remember something. Throughout this entire pandemic, while millions of Americans have lost their jobs, hundreds of thousands of businesses have gone under, remember something. Every single person in Congress and in the Senate has still gotten paid. Their paychecks have not stopped coming in. They can be home eating $12 ice cream or going to a barbershop or hair salon while it's closed, but not for them, and get their hair done. But meanwhile, Americans will suffer, and they continue to receive their paychecks. Not that Nancy Pelosi needs any, because she's got plenty of money regardless. We all know that. But just to so you guys can get an understanding, our government's failed us in every which avenue. And I don't understand why so much people from the left who seem to be anti-government would be so anti-Donald Trump. He's literally the opposite of government control. I mean, he wants to deregulate practically everything and let Americans choose for themselves, which is a huge argument that the left is always arguing, that they want less. Well, actually, no, socialists want more government control. I'm talking more about anarchists and all that. They want the government to have as least possible control of their lives. I'm sorry, I confused it. The left loves government control because the left wants to sit home, get a paycheck, and not do anything. I apologize. I completely got them. I completely got two different groups twisted. I apologize.
Listen, if the left could come out with a stimulus where they would give us $3,000 a month, they would do it, dude, because they would have complete control over our finances at all times.
Well, what do you think
And that's
welfare
what
is?
socialism.
What do you
Yes.
think welfare is?
Well,
LGB.
it's a little less, you know.
I mean, look. Well, LGB, the president, president. Oh, fuck. Why do I always forget this guy? His full name.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hold on.
What the fuck is going on? You making shit up?
No, I'm not. I don't make anything up, buddy. Hey, listen. I hit you with facts.
I'm kidding. So what are you talking about?
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Like,
Hold on. I may have gotten it wrong. Hold on.
what's that?
What do you mean? What nonsense are you talking?
Big tech's war against conservative voices.
Okay.
Only get worse.
President Lyndon B. Johnson, right?
Okay.
President Lyndon B. Johnson was caught. This is a Democrat, by the way. Was caught, and he said something very interesting. Very interesting. And I want to say it straight blunt. I don't care if it offends anybody. I don't mean it. It's words that came out of his mouth. But he
I
said,
definitely don't give a fuck.
when we pass this, we'll have these niggers voting for us for the next 200 years. This came from a Democrat's mouth. And apparently everybody thinks that the Democratic Party switched. The Democratic Party switched.
No.
It's really the Republican. No, this was a Democrat. This was in 1964.
Right.
And this
They never switched. They've been the same.
It never
forever.
switched. Only one senator went in the period of the between when the Democrats and the Republicans. Only one senator went to the Republican side. That's it.
Right.
Only one senator went from Democrat to Republican.
They think that they switched.
Of course. What
They
happened
switched
is people changed. The South changed. If the South really went Republican, then why did they wait to vote for Bill Clinton? If they really changed, why did Bill Clinton win for the first time the South in his election? They waited 30 years after the Civil Rights Act. That's a long time to wait. Apparently, that is a very long time to wait. Just saying. I mean, a lot of people like to, that's something that floats around. A lot of liberals a lot of Dems like to say that. And that is complete bullshit. The Republican Party has been the same party. It has been the same party, and it's been the party of the people.
Complete
the Democrats,
party. Racist beyond racist.
The Democratic Party now is an identity politics party. It's a party of racism. It was built off racism. It built the KKK. Let's not forget. Who's the guy that ran the KKK? I always forget. David Duke. David Duke was a Democrat all the way till 1989 when he ran for Congress. When he realized that he couldn't.
Biden say his eulogy or something like that?
No, that's Senator Byrd, that guy that filibustered the civil rights movement.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, gotcha.
Senator Byrd filibustered the civil rights movement, and who was? Let me recall. Who was his great friend? Oh, that's true. Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Both of them did a eulogy for him at his funeral. They praised him.
Praising him.
They praised him because he apologized for his actions in 2000. Fucking 40 years later, he apologized, and that's when people accept. Look, the hypocrisy is beyond my understanding. I don't understand how other Americans don't see it. This is a fucking sham. This is a joke. The Democrats have all of you guys manipulated, along with the mainstream media, along with big tech, and you're all being played like a fucking violin. And if you don't see it, you're too dumb to fucking see it. And you shouldn't be a Republican regardless. If you don't see what the Republican Party stands for the people. And thankfully, the African American community is finally noticing it. That's why Donald Trump had an overwhelmingly large amount of Hispanics and African Americans voting this time around for him.
Well, again, as I was stating before, democracy and republic, we are not a democracy. We are a republic, okay? And we are a nation with laws. We have two parties, and we have laws, and we have, everything's run by the Constitution. Okay, it's not run by one party, the majority. That's what a democratic democracy is. So that's exactly what they stand for: Democrats, Republicans, Republic, Democrat. Democracy. I mean, it's just common sense.
Yep. I mean, again, look, I've never been a scholar. I'm not a professor. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty much your ordinary guy that just really enjoys politics. I do my own research, but I mainly use common sense politics. I mainly look at things and what feels right and what seems right. And when I look and do research, if it seems like it's going to help our country, that's what I'm for. Now, have I read a lot of history on the Republican Party? Yeah. And I like what it stands for. That's why I'm a Republican. I'm not a MAGA guy. I'm a Trump supporter, but I'm part of the Republican Party. I've voted Republican my entire life. Every chance I voted, I have voted Republican. Unlike my friend Q over here, he has voted Democrat. I'm curious to know which one he voted for, though. He's never told me. Who'd you vote for?
I don't think I voted for anybody. I didn't know exactly what I was talking about. That's I thought that was the right thing.
Have you ever voted before in your life?
No, not before Trump. Nope.
Wow, so Trump was your first vote. Guys, this man is about to hit 50. This is very sad. Just let you...
Come on, man.
No, only because I was in unions for my whole life, so I pretty much had to vote what they said, which is probably Democrat,
Okay, be honest then. Who'd you vote for? Come on, tell me who'd you voted for. Did you vote for Bill Clinton?
I don't know. I mean, I think...
How can you not vote when you cast...
Did.
Okay, so you did vote...
I didn't cast anything. I think we automatically did it or some shit.
Oh,
do some kind of like...
Then you committed election fraud.
Yeah.
So, well, regardless, just for the record, Bill Clinton would be considered Bill Clinton nowadays would be considered a Republican. Just so you know. He was far from being a left-winger like they are now. I mean, he would be considered borderline Republican, if not full-blown Republican. So, I mean, things have changed so much, so drastic, so quick. It's incredible. I've never seen something change so fast. 2020 has changed at such a rapid pace that I can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with it. I'm going crazy. And I think most Americans are. I think most Americans don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know whether they should go out into the streets and do something. They don't know whether they should. I mean, I just, and I feel you guys because I'm going through the exact same thing, right? So, it's crazy, but we have to wait it out and hope. And hope that Donald Trump does something about it. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Shit's about to get crazy. Secretary of State Pompeo warned them. He addressed all 50 governors before the election about foreign interference.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, again, I'm reading through articles. I neither can't deny or or accept this. I mean, there's just so many whistleblowers.
So what's happening is a lot of business owners are just saying "fuck you." You know what I mean? They're just staying open, and the thing is, that's what these business owners have to do.
Well, I mean, what's happening? What's happening in Jersey? I mean, that guy's already by like 1.2 million in fines. The gym owner. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous.
He'll never pay for it. He'll never pay for it. He knows it.
He's not gonna pay for it. He's already figured out.
No. Trump becomes president, he's going to do something about it. You know what I mean? Guarantee it.
Of course, he's gonna do something about it.
Yeah.
I mean, look. Apparently,
my point is that all these businesses,
if you guys do
have
not
to
think
say no to these fucking governors,
of course, this is They're running a dictatorship in their own fucking. But look, honestly speaking, I'm gonna leave it with this because the show's. We're gonna end the show. It's already almost been an hour. I usually don't last this long. It's usually a 45-minute show. But I'm gonna tell you this, guys. If you think Joe Biden is not a conflict or is not a threat to national security, think twice. The fact that he's accepted, or his son, or anybody in his family, to be honest, has accepted foreign money at the level that they've accepted it while he was sitting as vice president, and you don't think that that is a threat to our national security, you've got something else, coming for you. This guy's going to be so lenient on China that by the time China's done with us, our country's going to be nothing but a bunch of factory workers that are basically controlled and ran by China. Okay, we're not going to have an America first agenda out the window with Joe Biden. It'll be a China first agenda.
Completely compromised.
He's completely compromised. And that's all I have to say about that, guys. I mean, I'm going to set something up. I'm going to go back to calling these officials and leaving them nice voicemails again. Yeah. Keep it a little spicy. I'm going to figure out some other topics to jump into. It's just this is what everyone is talking about, except for, of course, the left-wing media. But everybody else is talking about this election fraud. Yes, Fox News doesn't talk about it as much because I think they're accepting Joe Biden and they just don't think that Trump is going to win. That's my honest opinion. I just don't think if you're watching Fox News, stop and just start watching OAN or start watching Newsmax. Forget about Fox News because if you're a Republican, look, we have very few news outlets. Fox News let us down big time. It was the only place where we can go that we felt like we had a home. And honestly, I mean, most Americans just want a place where they have the same views, where they can actually hear news that they can relate to and follows what they believe in. We had one channel.
Hannity's pretty good. Look,
Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, they're all great. I don't have any issues with any of them. I think they're great. But anybody else from there, Chris Wallace, you're a fucking Democrat. You shouldn't even be on Fox News.
Should be in jail.
No, I mean, jail for what? I mean, he hasn't committed a crime. Donald Trump had a difficult task since he was a moderator. He was debating the moderator and Joe Biden. No questions could be asked about Hunter. But guess what? Now we know the truth. He is being investigated. Again, suppression. You want to talk about election fraud, guys? It was right in front of us this whole time. And CNN was doing it, MSNBC, the New York Times. Every news outlet you could think of that's controlled by the left, they committed fraud. That's the simplest explanation I can tell you. Aside from Dominion, aside from ballots, harvesting, aside from changing ballots, aside from every other irregularity that we've had in this election, if you want to know about those people that keep asking me, where's the proof? Where's the proof? Just look at the CNN. I'll give you a perfect example. Today, somebody told me, yeah, but you have to have proof and evidence. It all has to connect. I told them, you know what?
Okay.
I'm going to give you one. I'm just going to give you one right now that I can actually connect. So you've got the video in Georgia, right? You have that video in Georgia. You have affidavits from people. Follow me now. You have affidavits of people saying that they were kicked out of there, told that the voting was stopped because they were not going to count anymore. So they got all the Republicans out. So then they pull out, we have video of this, they pull out briefcases from under a table and continue to count ballots. And then more evidence, which makes it the perfect circle, is during the same time that they were counting those ballots, a giant spike, and this is data, was for Joe Biden. So there you have it. You wanted to know how election fraud works? You want proof, evidence, collaborating evidence, everything all in one? You have it right there. You have the affidavits, you have the video, and you have the data. And all of it
but Jay,
proves the case of fraud just in that one area, just in that one
video,
county.
The girl said that she was actually just grabbing her clothes because she was going on vacation. So, the suitcases were full of clothes.
Oh, yeah. That's why the footage shows ballots being taken out. Yeah. All right, guys. I want you guys to Stay optimistic. I want you guys to stay tough. Keep fighting for Trump. Trump doesn't stop fighting for us. Don't feel down. Get off of Facebook. Don't fucking even listen to people's comments because people are gloating right now. Just wait for the right time when President Trump gets reelected so you get back on Facebook and go, fuck all of you. Okay? But for now, keep out of Facebook because it's going to kill your morale. I'm telling you, it kills mine.
You.
Fuck you. So I'm just telling you, man, keep out of social media. If you're going to go anywhere where you want to at least feel comfort zone, go to Parler. I would highly recommend you go to Parler. At least there you'll have like-minded people. Some people can be out there, like my friend Chris over here. Some of those people in Parler, they're really conspiracy theorists. But at least you won't be getting attacked on a consistent basis like you do with Twitter and Facebook, and be censored and be told what you can and cannot post. It is an open platform, and right now people need some healing. People need some calmness in their lives. People are going through COVID, and I'm not talking about COVID, the actual virus. You're just going through the aftermath of what this of bad leadership is in all these in all these states. But everybody's going through some financial issues, and the fact that we feel like the election was robbed is adding more pressure, more tension, and we just need to let Trump do his thing. He's got something in the works. Don't know what it is, but he's not going to just let them steal this election. Have faith. God bless you. God bless your families, and God bless this beautiful country we call America. And remember, if you want to be on this show, simply send me an email, republicannation@gmail.com. You can follow me on all social media outlets, The Republican Nation. God bless you.
America great again.